Okay, we are live. Hi, guys. Today we're talking about inner work. I want to demystify it. I want to make the idea, the concept of doing inner work feel easy and fun. That's my goal today. So, if you're someone who has thought about or explored the idea of doing inner work yourself for something that is going on in your life, something you want to move past, something you want to figure out, things that just are bumping you in life and you want to I don't know, and what you've been trying has not been working, then this is the stream for you. I'm going to cover things in a very easy way. If you've seen my videos before, I try to break things down in very simple, easy, logical, common sense terms so that we can all understand what is going on and make all of this sometimes very complex things way simpler. um, so I want to jump in and then I'm going to open the room up for anyone who wants to join me. In fact, let me put in the chat um, the link in case anyone wants to join. It's in there, so feel free to jump on up with me if you want to chat, or feel free to text me in the comment section if you have any questions or thoughts. And that's it. And let's get going. So inner work. Think of it like this. Here's how I look at it anyway. Inner work is your ability to change and sway your thoughts and emotions. If you can do that, you can find the happiness you're looking for, the inner peace you're looking for, the answers you're looking for, the clarity you're looking for, whatever it is that you're looking for, you can find that if you know how to sway and change your thoughts and emotions. Why do inner work? Because if you're trying to deal with or process something, that is the ultimate answer. No matter what it is, it all comes down to how are you thinking about it? What do you believe about it? How do you feel about it? Those are going to be the ultimate answers to anything that you might be challenged by or dealing with in your life. So, some of our problems in this life are things that we can physically change. But in those cases, the inner work, it becomes, well, how can we get ourselves to think on levels and operate on levels to where we can do the actions that will fix that thing, or that will give us the energy to do it? Because sometimes we know what we want to do and we know how we want to get there, but we just don't have the energy to do that. So that's where inner work can come into play. Some of our problems are not things that can physically be changed. For example, like let me just give an example. So things that can physically be changed. If you don't like your job right now and you want something that's more fulfilling or pays better, or you have creative projects you want to get off the ground or whatever, those are things that you can change. If you want to find, you're not in a relationship right now but you want to be in a relationship, that's something that with action you can do. But then you have certain problems that are not solved that way, like for example, things from your past that are kind of like keep coming up and they just like are in a way that's like haunting you like over and over again. That's not something that can be just changed with action. You kind of have to, it becomes um uh, a case of needing to change, either change your thoughts about it and your perspectives about it, or shift your focus and in a way that you can move on and not feel forever mired in that problem or with that problem. So at the end of the day, every challenge and every problem that we face can be solved with inner work. But here's the thing. Most people don't know what that means. Most people don't know what actually inner work involves or what it could involve. And some people have an idea of it that it's just not, like things that it's just not. It does not involve that. Or it doesn't, let's say it this way, it doesn't have to involve what we think inner work to be. I thought inner work was going back to figure out where my problems started, and then and sort of digging through my history to kind of find where the root of everything was, and then like hopefully getting answers that way, kind of like what they talk about when people talk about like shadow work, things like that. But it doesn't have to be that. And what I learned was it doesn't have to be at all like that. And in fact, The method of inner work that worked the best for me was not that at all. When I used to have anxiety, if you've been to my channel before, you know that this is the case. You may have heard this before, but I've had years of anxiety, panic attacks, having to be on medication, going to therapy. It was a daily interruption in my life. It really interfered with where I wanted to me living just an enjoyable life. And I was in therapy for many years with multiple therapists. I've seen probably like 4 or 5 over the course of my like period with anxiety. And some would try to go back into the early years of where this could have started, which, by the way, I never really figured out. Um, and then I discovered that the answer was to understand my emotions. I learned this from a book, a spiritual book, but at the end of the day, it was me paying attention to my emotions and my thoughts and using those to guide me. And once I started doing that, I found very quickly a lightness about life, a freedom about life, a confidence about life, a sense of who I am and what I want, and an ability to say no to things that I didn't care about anymore or that I didn't want to do anymore. A sense of real like autonomy over myself and my life, and a genuine sense of happiness that was just very, very consistent very quickly once I started doing this. But the cool thing is, and my anxiety did go away. It went away very quickly. And it's been come next month, it'll be 6 years completely anxiety free, not a single day. I've had fears, but I haven't had that like underlying anxiety of like that was constantly present in my life. Um, and the panic attack stopped right away too. As soon as I started doing this, literally within weeks, literally within days of doing this, the anxiety was just not exist. It just didn't exist anymore. The panic attacks didn't happen anymore. I was able to get off my medication. Still no anxiety, still no panic attacks. I was freed. I freed myself. And the coolest part was that the inner work that I was doing did not involve me going into my past, didn't involve me reliving past traumas, didn't involve trying to get to the root of what was behind it or where it all started. None of that mattered. What mattered was where my mind what is now and how it's operating now and what I was thinking about and how my perspectives were now in the present moment. And and so that's what I want to share with you guys is inner work can look different than what we think it has to be. And so, and in fact, like, if I had to tell you what the real I'll give you the shortcut for inner work. The real work is having fun more. The real work is laughing more. The real work is playing more. The real work is enjoying your life more. And I'll tell you why that works so well. And that's not to say that doing that is going to solve everything right away. There's a little bit of time that's needed. However, I'll tell you why it works so well and why it worked for me and why it works for the people that I coach. Okay. When you spend more time doing what you like, doing what you love, enjoying your life, having fun, relaxing, resting, playing, like these things that feel so good to us. When we do those things, we are accessing good headspaces. And as I share in every video that I do, because it's the most, I think, important thing to consider, good headspaces come with so many advantages, so many benefits. They come with good ideas. They come with more creativity. They come with more imagination. They come with more bandwidth to deal with our shit. They come with more openness for and receptivity for insights and epiphanies and aha moments and clarity. They come with seeing opportunities that we didn't notice before. They come with being able to explore our life and notice that there are answers all around us. People in our life, our friends, our family, they're telling us helpful things. That our good headspaces help us receive that, help us identify that, help us go, oh, that's a really good point. I'm going to try to use that and incorporate that into my life. Good headspaces help us find answers. They draw us to things that are helpful to us, whether those are podcasts or books or live streams. All of those things, good headspaces are help us guide us to our answers. And so prioritize doing things that you enjoy, playing, laughing, having fun, living your life in all the cool ways that you want to, and allowing yourself to do that so that you can float in these good headspaces more often and for longer stretches of time. And the more you do that, as you just go about your day enjoying it more in good headspaces, your answers are going to logically pop into your head, or you're going to see them in the world around you. And so that's the shortcut for doing inner work. But I also want to get into the mechanics of like the details. Let's get into the details, and then we'll wrap up with like opening the room up, or like answering questions, because I already see Sakina's already messaging. So quick little breakdown of the inner work, how I see it, and then we'll open the room up to different topics. So think of inner work as, I think of it as like 4 main words: thoughts, emotions, conscious awareness, and focus. Those are the 4 elements that I think of that are like the most important pieces to this puzzle of doing our inner work. As I said, the easy way to do it is just enjoy your life, and you'll get the clarity that you're looking for in time. But if you want to be more conscious about it, or more practical about it, then this is how to do that. So, okay, thoughts. Let's start with each one. We'll break them down. The first one is thoughts. Thoughts are, we can either think them in our own head, or we hear other people, or we hear that in society, we hear what's going on in whatever outside, whatever we're listening to. Those are thoughts too. And if we are listening to it, then we're suddenly thinking it. That's how thoughts work. Emotions are, and of course, thoughts can be good or bad, right? They could be positive or negative. Emotions is the second piece. Emotions is just the reaction to our thoughts. So they're kind of connected. They're kind of like a sister pair. Every thought comes with an emotion, light or heavy, good or bad. It's positive or negative. But our emotions are telling us that we're currently thinking a thought right now that's positive or negative. Then on the other side, the other 2 things is conscious awareness, which is our awareness. I think that's because I did this, but I don't know how this relates. I don't even know. Okay, I get it if it's like a peace sign, but I don't get how a peace sign would be like celebratory birthday, you know? We'll figure that out after we figure out what inner work is. Okay, so conscious awareness is our awareness of everything. And we have awareness over all. You can have awareness for everything. You can have an awareness. Let's do a little exercise right now, live in the moment. Become consciously aware of how you're sitting or how you're standing as you are listening to this. Are you sitting in a chair? Is the chair cushy or hard? Are you standing up? Are you in shoes? Are you not? What does that feel like on your body? Like the gravity of where you're, how you're sitting or how you're standing. How does that feel? Like now you're consciously aware of that. Now, if I say, now become consciously aware of my voice and how it sounds to your ears. How clear is it? How would you describe it? Now become consciously aware of the idea of going to the beach. You could have it could be you could put your conscious awareness on imagined events or memories from the past or the future. You could put your conscious awareness on present things, like we were just talking about how you're sitting in this moment. You can put your conscious awareness on things that are totally made up. Like what would it be if I was dressed like a clown right now? Like what would that, how you can become consciously aware of anything. You could be consciously aware of your thoughts and your feelings, and you should be, honestly. That's very helpful. So conscious awareness is just our awareness of things. And the more we have it, the easier it can be to change our life in all the cool ways we want to. And the last piece is, we did conscious awareness, focus. Focus is our ability to take our conscious awareness from something and move it to something else. So your ability to move your conscious awareness from from how you're sitting in your chair right now to thinking about me as a clown, like that is you're using focus to be able to do that. You're taking your focus from one thing and moving it to the other. You could theoretically have completely ignored the clown thing and just continued to focus on how gravity feels in your chair. That would be you keeping a focus and not moving your thing. You're keeping your focus there. So those four elements will help with everything in terms of like inner work. So here's how I think about it. First off, be consciously aware of how you're living your life and specifically in how you're feeling every day as much as you can. Put a conscious awareness on your emotional state. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling bad? And of course, I have this guide of steps that you're free to. You can even just pause it and see what these are, or you can like get this from my newsletter. It's free and I break it down in email form, like what all of this, how to simplify all of this. But the idea is pay attention to your emotions so that you can do things that will logically help you, whether you feel good or whether you feel bad. Okay. Secondly, as you go about your day, enjoying it as much as you can, when you hit a bump in the road where you feel a sense of fear or a sense of insecurity or a sense of jealousy or a sense of anger or a sense of whatever the negative emotion, then you have an option in terms of doing inner work. You can either take your focus and change the topic altogether. Move your focus to something else. Find a distraction, find entertainment that you can watch, talk to a friend about something else, change the subject, change the topic, move your mind from one thing to the other. I would suggest doing that if the topic or the subject that's bumping you is really negatively charged. And if it's hot, if it's like it burns to touch it. That's how like hot it is. Take time away, figure it out when you're in a better headspace, for sure. Like that's the way to go. The other option is if you notice it and it's like, this is bothering me, but I feel open to changing it. I feel like it's not the biggest deal. I want to start to pave the way of changing that. Then that becomes, okay, so you're consciously aware of that's happening. B, you are purposely choosing to keep your focus on that topic, but opening your mind to be able to change how you're thinking about it. And then you're going to use your thoughts and emotions. So remember all the four pieces. One, you're consciously aware of what's going on. Two, you're deciding whether you're going to choose to focus on something else or that thing that's bothering you. Three, you're going to think about the thought that's causing the emotion. So what is it that you're thinking that's causing you to feel angry? What is it that you're thinking that's causing you to feel fearful? What is it that you're thinking that's getting you insecure? Like if you know what that thought is, like, oh, I'm feeling insecure because I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm deserving and worthy of love or happiness or the dreams that I have in my mind. And so that's what's making me really feel insecure because I don't think I'm good enough. Great. Well, knowing that is very helpful. And when you know that thought, you use thoughts and emotions to kind of like test each other out. So like that thought feels shitty, feels insecure, it feels like negative, it feels bad. So you want to keep trying different thoughts out, running different thoughts through your head or out loud or on writing or however you're going to do this inner work practice until you find one that feels good to you, that kind of works for you. So that could come from all over the place. You can come up with these on your own. You can come up with these by listening to live streams like this. You can come up with these by watching other YouTube videos or reading books or listening to podcasts on personal development or self-help or spirituality or whatever you resonate with. or from friends or from family or from whoever has some good insight or input in on that thing that could help you, as long as it feels good. But you're basically, then the game becomes, if you're trying to do inner work this way, the game becomes, how do I find some way of looking at this, some perspective on this thing that feels good to me and makes so much sense to me that I'm going to keep repeating it to myself. That's it. And then it might happen in the moment. Maybe you don't have anything in the moment, in which case you're going to want to just shift your focus to something else and go about trying to enjoy your day in other ways, with an open mind that you will be receptive to different perspectives on that thing as you go about your day. And that's it. And watch what happens when you do inner work this way. So, and again, like, that's the more in-depth way to do it. And that's the way, if you want, if this is complicating to you, if like I explain this and it's like, it's a little like, I get it, but it's still a little like hard to like think about on my own, that's what coaching is for. So feel free. I have on my site, if you're interested in coaching, I've seen really awesome results working with people. I'm very happy with how people are advancing in the programs that I have. So if that's something that, if you want like extra guidance doing this, or you want just like a helping hand or some personalized support, then that option is available to you. But also just remember, the easy way to do this is just to enjoy your life more, as much as you can, knowing that the answers and the clarity and the insights and the energy will come the more you do that. Because the more you spend time in good headspaces, the more that will happen. So just play it easy. No matter what, do it in an easy way, because it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a grind. It doesn't have to be a slog. It doesn't have to be like reliving like horrors over and over again. It doesn't have to be trying to find the root cause of things. It doesn't have to be like, I'm not saying those things don't work for some people. Maybe they do. I'm just telling you my experience, and in the experience of helping people with anxiety, helping people with depression, helping people with who feel lost and confused and don't know what to do, helping people that are just unhappy for a variety of reasons find that happiness, find that confidence, find that connection to themselves, find that belief in themselves. This is a way to do it. And I think it's the best way, because it's easy, it's fun, it's light, it's lighthearted. And so definitely just remember the basic logic and the common sense of, oh, if I do what makes me happy today, I'm going to be in good headspaces that are going to help me. And the more I do that, the more that's going to be true. And I think we get sometimes as people, and I used to be this way when I was stewing in my anxiety and dwelling in my anxiety, like I would get to a place where I thought to fix this, to solve this, that I had to sit in it, and that I had to swim in it, and that I had to dwell in it, and I had to think about all this shit over and over and over again. But that never worked. I was just anxious the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. It was not something that went away with that approach. And so what worked for me and what works for other people that I work with is what I'm teaching in this video and other videos. So feel free to check out other live streams I've done, other topics I've covered. There are specific ones that might work for you. Like, for example, if you struggle with imposter syndrome, there's an imposter syndrome video. If you suffer from anxiety, there's an anxiety video. If you suffer from, or if you're struggling with, feeling like you can't be successful, there's a success video. So like, seek them out and just hear these different perspectives and find one that you feel good with, that feels good in your body when you think about it and when you feel it, and then adopt it for yourself and start thinking that way and start reminding yourself of that kind of thing. Okay. That is the inner work. It can be that simple. It could be that easy. I recommend it that way. That's how I do it. And I just wanted to put a video out that kind of dispelled some of and demystified some of that, some of what inner work actually is. And the work can actually be way easier than you think. It's just play and enjoying life. Okay, let me get to Sakina here. Hello, Chris. Could you please tell me what the name of the video on Manifesting Your Dreams Part 2? I can't find it. I don't know if I did a second part to that. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. But if I did a manifesting video, then it's then the word manifesting is in the title for sure, or in the thumbnail. Also, what is the name of the video when you said things come into your life, things go out of your life? People come into your life, people go out of your life. There to make room for the new stuff. Honestly, I don't remember what I say in each video because I'm just like floating off the top of my head for most of this. Like I have a light outline sometimes, but most of it is just like improvised. So I don't remember what I say. And then as soon as the video's done, I don't think about it again. So sorry. Oh, Sakina, you're in the room. Hold on. Let me bring you up here. Hey, Sakina. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. Okay, well, Sakina's figuring that out. Tell me when you're ready, Sakina. Just message me, or give me a thumbs up, and then I'll get you back. Oh, you are already? Okay, okay, okay. Are you there? No, I can't hear you. You may have to change where your audio is coming from. No, not yet. Now? No, I can't. I hear this static, but no voice. Okay, well, while you figure that out, I'm going to just like set the stage again. Anyone watching, tuning in, if you are just jumping in now, feel free to go back to the beginning. The first like 20 minutes of this video was me going in depth about inner work. If that's something that you're interested in, if that's something you're trying to do or you've been confused by, or you just don't know what it means or what to do with it, then definitely watch the beginning of this video. Okay, Sakina, you seem ready. We're going to try this again. We'll see. Are you there?
Can you see me? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can. I can. Hey, Sakina, what's going on? Yeah, you might be. It sounds like you're on a delay, but we can make that work. Okay, what's going on, Sakina?
I'm on a delay.
I think you are, but
okay.
I don't know how to fix that.
Okay, my question is, when you said I'm just going on for a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was talking about when you said about the video. You were talking about people come into your life, people come out of your life, things come into your life, things come out of your life. They're there to make room. What were you saying? Because I can't find the video.
I mean, I'll try to. I get that concept, so I'll try to like give you my thoughts on it. But I think sometimes there are people that come into our life and they stay there forever because they fit, they work. It like works to have that person around. It's nice to have that person around, and it fits us in a way. And then there are some people that come into our life, but they don't stick around forever because for a variety of reasons. Maybe we change. Like maybe like there are people that I have that I was way closer to like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And after I personally did some inner changes myself, like the inner work that I was talking about, I think certain people just naturally didn't fit that anymore. Not to say that there was any like hard feelings in any way. I still love all the people that I loved 8 years ago, but I think that there's sometimes, well, two things happen. I found when I started becoming more confident, comfortable, relaxed, just like enjoying my life more, I think there were some people in my life who just weren't that way, and it kind of either it bumped them the wrong way, or they assumed like, oh, I wouldn't want to spend as much time with them, so we just kind of lost touch or didn't spend as much time or didn't hang out as often or whatever. Of course, the pandemic also was a factor in this too, but there's that. But then there's also like my choice. Like there were people in my life that I realized, oh, whenever I talk to them, I feel worse afterwards. Or let's say most times that I have a conversation with that person, I walk away feeling worse. And so I don't want to have as close of a friendship to that person because it doesn't feel good to me anymore. And I really want to prioritize the people in my life who like fulfill it and who like who uh give me energy and give me like I don't know, who support me and who encourage me and who are kind and compassionate and loving. And if anyone wasn't that, if they were like people who, I have some general rules, like if people are, or not rules, but like I have some general like I don't know, basic barometers for if I decide to continue on with friendships, which is I don't like people who are overly negative. I don't like people who are like, not that I don't like them. I don't like that they are overly negative. I don't like that they are people who are like super complainy or super defeatist or pessimistic or cynical. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan if people are like mean spirited. I can't do it. If people are mean spirited towards other people, even if it's not me, not even like mean spirited to me, but like mean spirited to other people, even strangers, it rubs me the wrong way. I don't like being around that energy. Or people who are too bossy or too pushy or too like controlling or authoritative. No, I won't do it. So like any of those, if people have those, I tend to back away for a little bit, sometimes a lot, depending on if they keep, if like, you know, sometimes I'll back away a little. And then if I test the waters again and they're still that way, then I try to, I just would rather spend my time with people that feel good to be around and that who enrich my life and who help me. So sometimes I think when we make these changes, we experience these internal changes and then we start acting differently in our life. We start expressing differently in our life. And I think naturally, whether it's our decision or the other person's decision, because they're not used to this, sometimes negative people or people who think negatively a lot, they like to spend a lot of time around other people who are negative. Like this is that whole like misery loves company. Have you heard of that
Yeah,
phrase before?
and also, just 1 second. Also, like people that are like conservative, I think.
Uh,
Is,
for every like people like to spend time with people that they're like, right? So like that think the similar ways or like do similar things. And so when you stop to like if you're in a group of people or you're in like or have some people in your life and you start changing from the inside out and are start living a different life, you might decide like, oh, this person doesn't isn't adding value in the way that I want to be. This is not someone that I want to be surrounded myself with. Or they might look at you and say, well, you know, Sakina's changed and I just don't, for whatever reason, I don't vibe with her anymore. And so I'm going to pull away from that. And so, but however it happens, sometimes that happens where people just become, I always see friendships, by the way, as like always in flux. Like sometimes we're closer, sometimes we're further, sometimes, you know, sometimes we're like this, and then sometimes we're like, and it just doesn't come back. So, but when those things happen, I do think that it's making room because every time, let's say that someone did drop out of your life, that means now there's more time and space for other people to fill that. And so I think that's a good thing. I think that's a great thing, especially if if you're moving in the direction you want to go. If you feel better within yourself, let you will naturally change the people that you're surrounded by when you change on the inside. That's just what happens because you're now talking differently. You're making different choices. You're saying no to things now. You're saying yes to new things now. And all of those things are going to come with new people that you run into in your new adventure. Does that kind of answer your question?
yeah, because the reason why I'm saying this is because um like before when I told you I want to work with Seth MacFarlane, I also want to work with George Michael at the time when he was.
I
It
don't
was
know. I don't know who that
2000
is.
and you don't know George Michael?
No, doesn't he sound like a musician? Isn't that a musician?
He's a musician.
Oh, he is a musician. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's with Wham.
Is he an 80s
Yeah,
like
80s.
guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
okay.
with Wham in the 80s. He
I
created
do
Wham
love
with
80s
Andrew
music.
Ridgely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I wanted to work with him too, in addition to uh, becoming a voice actor. Like I wanted to work with Seth MacFarlane too, but I also wanted to work with George Michael. But I wanted to do DJing, right? So
You
that I
wanted
could
to
work.
you DJ?
No, I wanted to. I still want to do it.
Oh,
I
cool.
want to
That's
do it
really cool.
as a hobby, right? So I can get good at it and see if I like it.
Do you
And
do
then I
it?
want
Do you
to
play with it ever?
no, I want to
Oh,
create
okay.
my own albums. I want to do it part time so I can still do voiceover,
Oh,
right? But
that's
I gotta
cool.
make sure I'm thank you. But I gotta make sure like I'm like in the SAG union first before I can before I can go and become a DJ because I want to do that part of it. I want to get to my level because I'm
Can
not
I
even
point
successful
something
as
out?
voice actor yet.
Can I point something out to you, Sakina, that I noticed that I don't know if you notice or not, but it might be helpful to you?
Okay.
You're I love how everyone all of our minds work very differently. Like our brains are very different. But I noticed that something you do, and this is not just in this conversation, but we've talked so much on like Clubhouse in Clubhouse rooms and on past live streams. So I feel like I know you somewhat. And I noticed that something that you do is you you purposely don't do certain things or don't let yourself do certain things because you really feel like there's an order of operations that you have to follow. Do you notice
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Yes. Because
And
what
and
I told you with the whole, I want to go SAG union first and then do DJing. But like I want to do DJing, but I want to do it
yeah.
on the side, like as a hobby. I'm trying to get
Yeah.
funding so that I can do that too.
That I love that you have these dreams and these plans and these goals to do it, and I am very supportive. I hope you do it. I really do. However, I will say that sometimes those that I have to do, and I'm this way too sometimes. Like I'm actually doing this. I'm doing this. Maybe this is also advice to myself, and it actually is. It is advice to myself too, because I am purposely, for example, I am not putting out more. Like I'm doing these live streams, but I haven't put out other like regular YouTube videos in a long time. And part of the reason is because editing takes so much time and I just don't enjoy it. But
Sorry, but to make voiceover, sorry, DJing as a career path, like, 'cause I want to create my own albums, right, and do part time.
yeah,
I'm waiting till I get to SAG union member and then do it as a career path,
I
part
get it.
time
I get it. But
thing.
my point is still going to make sense, which
Sorry.
is I personally am not doing YouTube videos because in my head I'm like, but I really want to update my website before I start doing YouTube videos so that when people see my YouTube videos, then they'll go on my website and it'll be like the most updated version of like what I know my programs offer and like the cool like, I have testimonials that I have that I should be putting up there. Like there are just more things that I could be putting up there and a better description of what things are that they are not right now. And so not that it's what's there is like inaccurate or bad. It's just not to the level that I want people to see or like that reflects what I'm currently doing in the way that I'm currently doing it. And so I'm stopping myself from putting out more YouTube videos and from creating more content because I'm sort of waiting for that. And then part of me is like, well, I'm currently doing this program with 9 people right now and I'm sort of trying to wait for that to like for more people to finish that program before I update the website. And so in my head, there's this like order of like, let's finish
Yeah,
this round of coaching with people, then we'll do the website, then I'll do more social media. But the thing that I find that's kind of tripping me up, and this is not a bad thing, but it's just I think that my mind does this so often, and I find maybe not in this instance, maybe a little in this instance, I'm stopping myself from progressing or moving forward on multiple fronts because I'm getting in my own way by thinking there has to be an order. And so I would
yeah,
just encourage you to open your mind to the idea that perhaps you don't need certain credentials or certain things, maybe to do certain things for sure. But for example, you don't need to be SAG approved to start playing around with music on your own time in your own way, just to get like play with DJing, seeing what that's like, trying different like software things that might help you do that or whatever that is, but like so that you can get meaning you can get really good with it with just playing and playing and playing on your own. And then when you get the whatever you might need, or I didn't even know SAG was needed for DJ. Is that a thing?
it's not. It's just that it's because I want to make sure I'm successful in voiceover for where I need to be first, and then do this because I'm.
Oh,
How could you move on to another career when you're not successful in your first career? You know what I
oh,
mean?
well, this is interesting because I feel like perhaps the key would be like you can do multiple things at once, and sometimes we don't get to decide what order things are going to take off. So what if I'm just throwing this as a hypothetical, what if you started doing DJing and it took off and you were really good at it and people really liked that and people started like hiring you or you became better known. And maybe what if that was the way that someone who had connections to SAG or had connections to a show or had connections to whatever, what if that was the way that they discovered you to be able to like launch you into that way versus thinking you have to wait for one going this course before you can go on that course? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But the thing is that like with just that I am so focused on. I have a website for my voiceover thing. Like my former teacher, he's
Mm-hmm.
helping me out with that. He's putting like pictures on my website. My battery's dying, but I'm gonna charge it after. Um, so he's putting pictures on my website, and I'm still like in the another attempt in terms of like another approach in terms of trying to get um known, like not known like famous, like but like going to production houses so then
I
I can
get
get
it.
work,
Yeah.
right? Because backstage.com is not working and I'm getting really frustrated by that. I know you told me not to, don't like expect things, just go with the flow, basically what you're
Yeah,
saying. I
sure.
know that, but like I'm not getting anything and it's gonna be another year now and I'm still not booked. I'm gonna do an audition. I'm
And
just not
all the
currently.
reason, like, and isn't this a good reason to maybe say, well, what if we did play around with, and here's the reason I kind of think it's a good idea. And again, go with how you feel, go with what you feel is fun and interesting and exciting. But sometimes I think when we are, let's say we're going down a certain road and we are hitting this block, we're on this one road and we keep hitting this block. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's going to take, who knows how long it's going to take for that block for us to get through that block. Sometimes the best thing to do is to start a different route doing something else. And then as this block is working itself out, maybe it's 3 months, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year, whatever, you're moving on this other path too, or maybe multiple other paths. And then by the time, and sometimes those other paths are leading you towards answers and solution that unblocks you from this one. Sometimes it's just a matter of time that you're on this one and the block is something that's out of your control. And sometimes, but in the meantime, you could be getting ahead on this path or on this path. And then when the block comes through, basically what I'm saying is instead of looking so linearly as like there's one path, I have to do this in
Yeah.
order, in this order, let it be multiple, let it be multiple paths.
How do you do that? Like you told me about this on Clubhouse, and I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get out of my head. You
Oh,
know,
that's a good question.
and and
Um,
and so, sorry. Also, another question before you answer that one is that how do you stop from controlling how you want things to go a certain way? Because
oh,
I've
that's a
been
good
getting that
question too.
recently.
I think this is going to be a little bit of trust, um but maybe not so much trust as just remembering the logic and the common sense of what I'm going to say. But it's just the idea of there are so many things that are completely out of our control and we try to control everything. Like we really want to control how things go, the order of things, what we're doing, what other people are doing, like that we just naturally want to like, I don't know, have a tight grip on everything. But as you know, that doesn't really work. And if it worked, we wouldn't be even here talking about this. Like it wouldn't be a
Yeah,
thing. So
that's true.
yeah, so maybe it's worth trying a different approach. And the approach is forget the control, forget having things have to do a certain way, and listen to your intuition. It will guide you to the things. So if you're intuitively, meaning like if you find DJing fun, like the idea of that fun, if you like music and you listen to music a lot and you like playing with music and the idea has obviously come to your head to
It
DJ,
has. Yeah.
that's your intuition saying I'm interested in this thing, I'm interested in music, I care about this. And so allow that to carry you and follow it and see what happens. Like it venture down that road even if it's not in the order you thought. Who cares? Like let it just, and it doesn't even have to turn into like a work thing necessarily, but just like allow yourself to play in it. And there's
Mhm.
two reasons for this. Number one is it's starting you down a different route, which doesn't mean that your acting route or your voiceover route is done. It just means that in the meantime, while you figure that out, you have another iron in the fire. You have another thing going on. So you're going down that other route, which can lead to who knows what creative projects, getting big, maybe getting better known, maybe meeting the right people. Sometimes it's just a matter of like getting in the room with, maybe doing that DJ thing will just get you in the room with somebody that you really want to be working with, or want to like, or can help you in that way. But the other reason to do this, to follow your interest or to follow your fun in doing this activity that might be like DJing or music related, is the more you do that, the more minutes of your day you're going to be vibing in these like really good headspaces. And that, again, going back to what I started this live stream with, is good headspaces are everything. That's what I almost don't care what you do, as long as you do things that are fun and interesting and exciting to you, so that you're floating in good headspaces more of the day. The more you do that, the more you're going to be set, because you're going to keep getting then good insight. You're going to be getting good ideas. You're going to be getting more creativity. You're going to be getting more imaginative, like spurs to like do things. You're going to be getting more, like you're going to be seeing more of your answers. And so like, I think you should do the DJing for multiple reasons. One, it might be your new next career and it might take off faster than voiceover, which who
Yeah.
cares? As long as as long as you get to have fun in your career, like who cares what happens first? And then two, I think you should also do it just because it'll put you in the good headspaces that will help you. Does that make
I'm
sense?
trying to get, if that makes sense. I'm trying to get funding right now, so for like my activities, but like my teacher is helping with my website for voiceover right now, and something else that I want to tell you, but I will tell you when you and I, not on a live stream, but I want it to be like a during a coaching session. So I
Okay.
wanted to I'll email you about that on your website.
Cool.
Would
Yeah. I
like
mean, that sounds good, but I just want to like reinforce, like, try to be open about how all of this plays out. Like, just be very open. And I know that can be a little like, but I'm so used to like wanting this to
control.
happen or this to happen. I'm so used to that control. I want you to like open yourself up to the idea of like, what would it, in fact, do you want to do a little exercise? I want to wrap up in a few minutes, but do you want to do
Sure,
like a quick exercise with me?
sure.
Okay. I want you to close your eyes for 30 seconds. I'll do it too, so that you're not alone in doing
Okay.
this. And I want you to just imagine the idea of like, what would it feel like if it were true that you can let go of all of this, all of the control, let go of all of that, and just know that if you follow your fun and do what's interesting to you and do what calls your heart and do what's fun for you, that things can work out in really awesome ways. Like, what if that were true? What would that feel like if you could truly let go of control and everything can just work out because you're in good headspaces and you're moving in those directions? Okay.
Okay.
And then sit with it for 30 seconds of truly how does that feel? And then afterwards, we'll talk about, I want to hear what you think of
Can
it,
you
or what.
time me? Can you time?
I'll jump in and tell you we're done. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. What's it feel like?
Well, it feels fantastic. I've expected things I never have imagined in my life. So,
Mm,
you know,
that's so cool. Uh-oh. I think she ran out of battery. Um, that is the practice. And Sakina, if you watch this later, I'll give you my thoughts. That is the practice. Doing things like that, allowing that. That's the start of you being able to let go of the control and do and lean into the common sense. It's not even like crazy to think that this can work. It's knowing that if you let go, because control comes with negative headspaces. It comes with like insecurity. Why are we feeling like we have to control? Because we feel like things aren't good, or we feel like things are going to get worse, or there's like this negative anticipatory nature to it. There's this fear element to it. There's this insecure element to it. And so when we let go of control and we open ourselves up to anything, everything, um, know that you can lodge. It's not even crazy to think about, because when you let go of control and you let go of the negative thinking and the negative feeling behind that control, think about how you are then shifting your headspace. The control is you in a negative headspace. So the more you do it, the more you're floating on wavelengths that are like low, where you're not going to get your ideas. You're not going to get the ideas that are going to help you. You're not going to get the answers as easily that are going to help you. You're not going to get the perspectives that are going to help you as much. You're not going to get the insights that are going to help you as much. You're not going to get as much clarity. You're not going to get as much bandwidth. When you're in those vibes, those things just naturally, logically don't come with those vibes. And so by letting go of control and then opening yourself up to fun, when you open yourself up to fun and curiosity and excitement and passion and love and joy and peace and relaxation, those are things that are going to then allow you to make the moves, to get the ideas that will move you forward, to meet the people and make the best impressions to move you forward, to do all the things. Oh, Sakina, you're back. Okay, hold on. Are you back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm back. My battery was dying. My battery
Oh,
died.
that's okay. I'm wrapping up, but I'll tell you real quick. I'll give you a short version of what I just said, but feel free, once I'm done with this, you can go back to like after our exercise when it was like perfectly timed. Like the exercise ended and then you disappeared. Your computer died.
And there's one thing I want to tell you after, because it relates to what Sharon has said in a previous video where she says you might get something that is better than what you wanted before and what you thought of.
Tell me. Elaborate more on that. I love that concept.
Okay, I'll tell you quickly. Okay, so I told you I said I wanted to work with George Michael too, right? So when I
just
met
said that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like before that, at that time, like when I said I wanted to work with him, I thought about this, right? I met my voiceover coach, that first one that I told you about, not the one out of 4 auditions, the first one that I said got connections to Seth MacFarlane, right? And so during that time, like I just thought, you know what, I don't want to work with George Michael anymore, right? And I wanted to become a DJ, work with him, right? So do remixes and all that.
Do you
Work
still
with
want
him.
to be a DJ, period? Like just in
Yeah,
general? Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah, I want to make my own albums and I want
Do
to
you
win
see the
awards.
energy when I ask that question, the way you answer it? Like that there's magic in an answer like that. There's magic in an energy like that. I really want you to, I hope that you flow with it more and that you allow yourself to go down that direction, and don't put it off. Like, don't wait, like do the things now. I'm not saying like go host a DJ an event right now. I'm just saying like play DJ and practice what a DJ does. I don't know anything about that world, but like there's like real skill to it. There's real like creative, like there's real creativity to it.
There's a book I listened to, an audiobook. It's called Rock the Dance Floor. Five-step formula to total DJ success, and
Nice.
It's a bestseller. I found it on YouTube. I listened to
That's
the entire
so you
audiobook.
are already starting the journey. If you're doing things like that, you're like looking into things and researching things and listening to audiobooks. That's the beginning. Like I love that. Okay, good. That's a great example of you doing what I'm saying. Like that's you following it. I just want you to keep following it, knowing. Now I'll tell you what I kind of told the audience, but I didn't tell you because.
So sorry. So after when I said I wanted to work with George Michael right before, then I realized I don't want to do it anymore. And then now that I'm getting on this journey to get to Seth MacFarlane, it's so much better than wanting to work with George Michael. See, what I wanted before was to work with him. Now I got something better.
Great.
And obviously,
Great. Yeah. I think it's important to update our dreams, and you might find that you update them multiple times in your life. And I think that's a great thing. I think that's cool because we're going to like different things as we go on our adventure. We're going to learn things. We're going to discover things. We're going to be like, we're going to change our minds. We're going to want things that we suddenly don't want anymore. We're going to discover that we want other things more than what we think we want now. Let it all be open and all be on the table. But like the point is, stay in good headspaces and follow your heart, do what makes you happy, follow your joy, follow your bliss, follow your peace, follow your excitement, follow your passions, follow your loves, and watch as that naturally helps you. But like, okay, so the thing that I said before was when we did that exercise and you closed your eyes and you said it felt fantastic, that to think about like what would it feel like to like let go of all control and just open up to the idea that your dreams can unfold when you let go of that control. And you said it felt fantastic.
Yeah.
That exercise, I would recommend you do that like once a day, just for 30 seconds for a while, until you feel like you're truly letting yourself let go of the control. Because the control is, why do we control things? Because we're in fear state, or we're in insecure state. We don't think, or we think things are not going to go the way we want. So we want to be like, we want to grip it real hard.
Yeah, that's why I do
Right.
that.
And so,
With this current
and
situation,
it makes sense. It makes sense. Like when we fear things, we want to do that. Because we want to have all the control we can over it. But think about what all of this means. Think about what this tightness means. It means that you're vibing on wavelengths that are down here, like low wavelengths. That's not the wavelengths that good ideas are on. That's not the wavelengths that insight is on. That's not the wavelengths that your like creative sparks are on. That's not the wavelength that where you get like a bunch of energy to do things. And so letting go of the control allows you to swim up here. And when you're thinking up here, that's where all the unlocks come. That's where the aha moments come. That's where the epiphanies come. That's where the insights come. That's where the clarity comes. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I know what I want to do this. And of course, you're not always vibing down here. You're sometimes up here. You're sometimes down there. I just want you to be up here more often. And when we're in a state of control, we're down here more often. And so like,
that's tough.
I know it's
I'm
a
sorry.
practice.
I
It's a
understand.
practice.
Sorry I interrupted you again.
No, that's okay. It's okay. And I'm
sorry.
going to wrap up in a minute, but I just want to say like, it is tough in the sense that it's a practice, but it's a skill that anyone can learn. It just takes some practice. What's the practice? Here's how easy the practice is. Number one, do what we just did a few minutes ago, closing your eyes and saying, what would it feel like if I let go of all control and I just allowed flow state and my good headspaces to lead me, and my heart and my intuition to lead me, and knowing that that is going to lead me to my dreams? What would that feel like if that were hypothetically true? And allow yourself to sit in that space for 30 seconds or a minute each day. That's part of the work. And then the other part of the work is, like I said in the beginning, play more, laugh more, enjoy more, read more books that you like, play with your DJ equipment, play with your computer, do your software things, try out different things, like play, enjoy. That's how easy it could be. Doing those things will A, get you used to what you're wanting to do physically, and B, it'll keep you floating up here in those high vibe headspaces where that come with the clarity and the ideas and the inspiration that you can then use to like move in any direction you want. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I know it's frustrating because I'm too much into. It's been years. You never came before.
I know. Sometimes it does take years. I was in anxiety for years, and then I changed that. So even if we've done things for years, doesn't mean we can't change it. It might just take a little bit more time. But I just told you the two ways to do that, which is one, allowing yourself to imagine what it feels like to let go of control, because that's you in a like 30 seconds or a minute. That's you doing it for 30 seconds to a minute. And the more you do that, let's say you did that every day for the next week, you're going to be more used to the idea or the concept of letting things go for a minute, letting things go for a minute, letting things go for a minute. The more you do that, you're going to be comfortable doing it for 5 minutes, doing it for 10 minutes, doing it for your whole day. You can get to that point, but it takes doing that practice. And then the other piece of the practice, remember, is just having fun and enjoying your life. And that will solve, that kind of like works its magic organically, because you're just going to think in different, you're just going to be operating your life differently, and it's going to result in different things.
Yeah, that's true. And also with all this control, that contributes to high blood pressure, stress.
Yeah.
And as you get older, your mind becomes more and more rigid.
Yeah. So do it while you're young. Like start like opening your mind to a different like approach. Yoni says, just stop by to say hi, Chris. Hi, Yoni. Thanks for being here. I'm wrapping up, but like, thanks for stopping by and saying hi. I always appreciate it. We were talking about inner work today, and we were talking about And then Sakina brought up this another topic, which I really enjoy too.
Well, I'll try. And you
Thank
know
you,
what?
Yoni.
When I told you uh, uh, I was jealous of Seth, I'm not thinking about that. It's just I'm thinking about what I want, like,
Amazing.
wanting to
That
work
was
and get my
we
letter
talked about
sent.
that
That
last
was
week,
almost,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about this other thing, which I will tell you
So let me
when
point
you and
this
I
out
speak
before.
in a
I think
coaching
this is a
session.
great like point to like end on today, which is you were struggling with that issue of jealousy last week. We talked about it. It was active in your mind last week. And then
Yeah.
today, a week later, after we were talking, after you, and this is a testament to you and your practice in doing this, you're now no longer having that issue because your mind, you've been able to shift. You made that inner shift. That's the same thing that you're going to be doing with this control thing too. So I'm hoping, and
Okay.
I'm not saying that in a week that's going to be able to be gone. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But you're, I want to point this out to you that you're doing it. Like you're doing it. Like pat yourself on the back for that. Appreciate yourself that you're making those advancements. Like that's so cool that you're not getting like pinged with this jealousy every day over this thing. You've ascended that. You've transcended that. So like the same way that you're doing that, your growth is just going to continue. But now we're on this subject. And by the way, once we figure out the control thing, there's going to be another thing that pops up. That's how life is. It's just one thing after another that bumps in the road that we have to like smooth out with the inner work. But the work is emotional. The work is thought based. The work is in here and connecting these two things, head and heart, to be clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
And
Yoni
hard, yes.
says, I'm older and my mind is not rigid at all. I love that. Um, she says, don't cast spells for yourself. You may have to cash in time. Meaning, I'm going to make an assumption, Yoni, that you're saying if you believe that as you get older, your mind gets more rigid, that's not necessarily true. But if you believe that, it will be true. And I will say for a
Oh,
lot of people that is true, but it's just because they don't think about it. They don't know that another way is possible. They don't know that they can shift and change and that the mind can stay open and flexible your entire life. Like, and I've known older people who are very open-minded and flexible their entire life. So it's not to say everyone, and it's a great thing to remind us. So thanks, Yoni. Thanks for the reminder. And for Sakina and me, like, let's not tell that story because it's not true, but it can be true if we keep saying it. Well, if we believe it, it will be true for us. So let's not do that.
okay. I have another question. So, could I write
One,
affirmations?
oh, yeah, absolutely. Do you like affirmations?
I do. I've read it. I done. Sorry, not read it, but I've done it before. When I, at the time when my dream was to work with Seth MacFarlane, I wrote an affirmation like my dream was to work with Seth MacFarlane in animation and whatever I said animation. Basically, it was a long time
Cool.
ago. It was when I wanted to get into voice acting, when I first wanted to get into it.
My thoughts on almost anything are: does it feel good? And if the answer is yes, like, does it feel good to your heart? And is it, as long as it's not hurting anyone, like obvious things, but like, uh, do it if it feels good to your heart. If it genuinely feels good to your heart to do that. I'm not an affirmations guy, to be honest. I'm more like I like riffing with myself. Like I'll go on a bike ride and just kind of think to myself, or like pace around my room sometimes, or the house, and just kind of like talk about things that I like and things that I love and what I want to do, and like like just it is affirmations, but it's not me repeating a sentence over and over. It's me just like talking to myself in a positive, supportive, encouraging, uplifting way. But do whatever feels good to
Well,
you.
okay,
Cool.
okay. I'm gonna try the affirmation
Cool.
thing, and I'll listen to this video, and then I'll think about
Awesome.
that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, let me know next time that we chat, how that went, and if you've noticed any shifts. But like, I really want to end this by saying congratulations on your shifts. I don't think that's like a small thing. I truly think that that's a big thing. And it's easy to not think of, and it's easy to like write it off, or like, I don't know, ignore the fact that this is happening. But if you were
Yeah.
feeling jealous a week ago and now it's almost not at all in your mind, that's a big deal. And that is showing you that you have the power to shift yourself from the inside. So if you could do it with that, you could do it with other things. And then that's just the process of doing that more and more and more. And your life will get smoother and smoother, easier and easier, funner and funner, nicer and nicer, happier and happier. If that makes does that make sense?
Thank you. And yeah, it makes sense. It's just that the thing is that I really want, wanting to work with him and sending my letter. Like I have, that thing is like overpowering the jealousy, but the jealousy comes in every now and then. Like it just comes by itself. I just get triggered.
uh, that's human. That's human, Sakina. That because remember those emotions are coming from our thoughts, and sometimes thoughts come and go and bounce back. Sometimes sometimes we can shift our thoughts and they never return, which is the main goal. But sometimes they do come back. It's totally human. Yoni says, "Come to Sharon's clubhouse room sometimes, Chris." I will. I do intend to drop by one of Sharon's rooms sometime soon. So maybe I'll try to do that in the next week or so. Okay, let me wrap
Sure.
up. Sakina, you still go to Sharon's rooms?
No, but I will. I'll go for like on the Saturday.
Okay, cool.
I can't go on the
All right,
Wednesday.
cool.
So so hopefully you'll be on there, whatever time. I don't remember now because I'm not on Clubhouse as much as I
I
used
know
to
I'm
be
not
on.
either. I'm
So
not either. But maybe we'll catch each other in one of her rooms. Okay, Sakina, thank you for joining. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it as always.
you too. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you being so positive, and I just hope that best of luck to you, and stay
Thank
positive,
you.
and we could be
I
friends.
will definitely stay. I promise you
It's
I will, because I know it's good for me, and that's why I'll do it. I'll keep doing it. Thank you for joining. Please come back sometime. I'm gonna wrap up now. Okay. Bye, Sakina.
I'll come back next
Okay.
week.
Bye, Sakina. All right. All right, guys. So I would like to now just let you know, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. If you're interested in emotional mastery, it's not as complicated or as hard as you might think. However, it is as game changing as you think. It is as mind blowingly helpful and beneficial to your life as you think. It's everything. Emotions affect everything. They affect what we say, what we do, how we speak, the tone in our voice, our body language, the impressions we make on people, the way we interpret the world around us, the choices that we make, everything. Emotions are all of it. They affect all of it. And so if you understand them, if you know what they mean, if they know what they're telling you, if you know what to do with them, if you know what they are, then you can improve your life and change your life and sway your life in any direction you want, in any area you want. You can find more confidence, you can find more happiness, you can find more belief in yourself, you can find more connection with who you are, you can manifest really cool things and create the kind of life you want. You can purposely move yourself towards certain goals and certain dreams that you have. You can find a level of happiness that's so solid, so regular, so consistent that you enjoy your life more. And that will compound with good ideas that will help advance you in all the areas of your life more. You can fix relationships. You can improve relationships. You can find more friendships. You can get over anxiety. You can get over um, states of depression. You can find more freedom. You can it whatever you can think of, your emotional state and your mental state help you do that. And there are simple ways that you can understand them. I share them on my website, chrisnewth.com. Sign up for my free EQ newsletter. It's totally free, gives you a little daily email with a mindset cheat code that you can use. I broke down literally the things that helped change my life the most. I was like, what changed my life the most? And then I wrote detailed descriptions of everything that did, and I put them in a 2-week email like sequence, that when you sign up for the newsletter, you get that sequence so you can learn what I did to change my life. You can also obviously check out the other videos on this channel. Please do me the favor of liking, subscribing, leave me a comment. I would love to know what you guys want me to talk about in future videos. What would you love me to make either live streams on or YouTube videos on? What topics are you wondering about? Whether it's happiness or more belief, or more connection with yourself, or manifesting, or what is it? What are the things that are on your mind? Share them below in the comments so that I can see, and then I can start making videos based on those. I would love to do that. And if you are someone who, like obviously what my free newsletter and the YouTube channel, all this information is out there. So feel free to do this as a self practice. I really recommend it. Do the self practice. You can do this at home on your own. But for anyone who is not great at self practice or doesn't prefer to do things on their own, if you want someone to hold your hand through this process, if you want some company on your journey to finding your transformation, that's what coaching is for. I have that available too. Anyone who likes the way I teach, anyone who resonates with what I'm saying, feel free to sign up for coaching. I have an awesome program called the EQ Mastery Program. It's 4 weeks long. It will, in 1 month of working with me once a week and keeping a self practice going in between, you can find awesome improvements, sometimes extremely quick. A lot of the people that I work with end up seeing very dramatic results within the first week or two, certainly by the end. And everyone I've worked with up to this date on this program has seen improvement and progress. And I plan more to share with you some of the specifics of that in the weeks ahead. But that's available to you. If you would like more personalized guidance on your journey, feel free to sign up for that. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you caring about these topics, like our emotions, our mind. I think it's so important. It's life-changing, but I don't think it's very, I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people understand the power of it, and I'm glad you do. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I'll be back again next week. And until then, leave your comments below on what you want me to talk about in the weeks ahead, because I truly sometimes think day of on what should I talk about this week? I want to know, what do you guys want me to talk about? And then that way I can go ahead and make more topics based on what you want. All right, guys. Thank you. Love you.